Hello, I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Emunah Project. We here at the Emunah Project are continuing our series of videos with respect to information, education, inspiration, guidance, advice, and I want to spend a couple of videos reviewing and adding to our study of Loshon Hora, malicious gossip, tale-bearing, mistranslated as slander, and you'll see in a minute why. The Rambam in Hilchos Deios defines a Holech, rochil, a talebearer, a Baalei Tshuva, a malicious gossiper, a gossip monger, as one who maliciously spreads disparaging information about an individual. And this applies even if what he's saying is true. In English law, in the law that in the West we're used to, in order for a remark to be defamatory, it has to be untrue. Not so with Judaism. In Yiddishkeit, the fact that it's true is not a defense. As a matter of fact, in some cases it makes it worse. The Rambam goes on, and he says, one who speaks Loshon Hora as a joke, he says it innocuously, without malice, he's still viewed as touching on Loshon Hora, what we call Avak Loshon Hora, the dust of Loshon Hora. And it's clear from the Rambam that unless one speaks Loshon Hora maliciously, out of hatred or dislike or some grudge against his victim, he does not transgress the biblical injunction against Loshon Hora. And we get some support from this from, of course, the master of the subject of Loshon Hora and Shmiras HaLoshon, guarding your tongue, the Chofetz Chaim. The Chofetz Chaim considers Avak Loshon Hora, the dust of Loshon Hora. It's not exactly it, but it's getting close. That is being an Issur, a rabbinic prohibition. So, the paradigm, the prime example of Loshon Hora in the Torah is Miriam's slander against Moses. And we find this mentioned in the book of Numbers, chapter 12, verses 1, and throw in 3 as well. Miriam and Aaron spoke about Moshe, not to Moshe, spoke about Moshe regarding the Cushite woman he had married. Cush is south of Egypt, either the extreme southern end of Egypt or what we now call Ethiopia, what used to be called Abyssinia. And it goes on in verse 3, now the man Moshe was exceedingly humble. And this is held by people as being the prime example of Loshon Hora, where a person is punished by tsaras. Tsaras, mistranslated as leprosy. Tsaras is a physical affliction that has a spiritual origin, not a medical one. It's not a purely physical disease. It's a punishment. It's for a spiritual. It's a spiritually induced form of leprosy. And this example of Miriam talking Lashon Hara about her brother Moshe, it serves as a lesson to us all with respect to the effects of slanderous speech. But if we analyze what occurred with Miriam, it seems that her behavior doesn't exactly coincide with the severity of the punishment. She spoke about her younger brother, whom she adored. She admired, she revered. Miriam, as a young girl, followed the basket that Moses was in along the river when Pharaoh's daughter took him, and the servants took him out of the river. She came forth and suggested that she knew a Hebrew woman that would nurse the baby. This was an actual fact. Moses' own mother. She risked her life to save him from certain death. She didn't intend Moses any harm. in any way. And Moses certainly didn't complain about it. Her error was what? Her error was in comparing Moses, her little brother Moses, to other great men and other prophets, not realizing that Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher, was in a class all by himself. No other prophet had reached the level and the degree of intimacy that Moses had with the Creator. And like I said, Moses certainly didn't harbor any complaints against his sister Miriam, but she still suffered from tzarafs, the spiritual leprosy. How much more so should we be concerned when we speak Loshon Hora, when we maliciously slander another person? We're going to be doing more videos on this subject. Please come back, please watch, please learn, and until next time, on behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel, and thank you so much.